Hello everyone, I am Charlie, this is Med.
Hi.
And today we're going to be talking about a story that I think everyone has been seeing over the past week or so. And that is assassination? Is assassination fair?
I think it's an assassination.
The assassination of the United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson,
Yeah.
in New York City, outside of the Hilton Hotel, in the crack early dawn of the day.
On what?
Early hours of the morn.
On a normal Wednesday.
On a typical
morning,
Wednesday morning.
Brian on his way to work, had a conference.
He was there for a very important board meeting type thing for United. I mean, if anyone who doesn't know, United Healthcare is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, healthcare insurance companies in the US.
It's the biggest in the world.
Okay, so very, very big company, very important man. And basically what happened was he was shot and killed just before 7 a.m. It was at 6:46 a.m. The attacker basically approached him from behind and double popped him in the back and in the leg.
With a silencer. And also the fact that it happened where the conference was happening and they continued...
Yeah. They continued the meeting.
The meeting while his body was still just on the floor.
Yeah. This entire story is one of the craziest things that I think we've seen recently. So Sunday, the 24th of November. So this was a few weeks ago now. So a few days, 10 days before the actual shooting itself, on the 24th of November, the attacker arrived in New York City, having taken a bus we know that the bus originated in Atlanta. However, we're not entirely sure whether he got on the bus in Atlanta or what exactly the route was. All that we kind of know from CCTV is that he arrived in the bus terminal.
Those classic Greyhound buses that you see in
films.
The
classic Gilmore Girls. If anyone's seen that episode of Gilmore Girls where Rory I love that's how my point of reference. When Rory goes to New York to see Jess and deal with all of those unresolved emotions.
Let's continue.
Don't stop me when I'm talking about Gilmore Girls. So after he arrived in New York, we then know that he took a taxi to a hostel where he stayed until the morning of the shooting, which was Wednesday, the 4th of December.
Yeah.
So we know that he had a fake ID that he used at the hostel. There was also CCTV of him kind of flirting a bit with the receptionist.
That's the infamous smile that
the smile
smiling
that
at the
smile that could sell 1,000 C's.
Oh my God.
Look at that beautiful
That was the smile that everyone was like, okay, he's the one.
Yeah, no, he's a honey with a body.
Timothy Chalamet will play him in the
oh my God, here for it.
Netflix drama.
So here for that. Okay, so however, there's a little bit of confusion over whether he stayed at the hostel that entire time or whether he moved locations. He did share a room with 2 other roommates, but neither of them ever saw his face because he kept his mask on the whole time. Honestly,
Kenny vibes from South
COVID
Park.
for COVID, we kind of get it. Maybe he was just worried about catching a cold.
True.
He got to make sure that his immune system's good to shoot someone.
Don't trust anyone.
Imagine a shaky hand because of sorry, I'm not here for it, but I'm kind of here for it. He was really dedicated to his craft.
Imagine staying in the room with him and just being this guy's really weird. Why has he just kept his mask
Why
and
does he
hoodie
keep on watching TV shows about true crime in the evening and I don't know, looking at himself in the mirror to see how his hair looks?
God, and plucking his eyebrows.
Yeah.
Because that's another conversation people have been having. But anyway, we'll continue.
We'll get there. Hold your horses. We'll get there. So the attack then happened Wednesday, the 4th of December. But my favorite detail was that he actually went to Starbucks and got a protein bar and a bottle of water before he went back to the hotel. So he was geared to go.
Yeah, he was ready.
Yeah.
He was out of the hotel or hostel, at 5:30 a.m.
He was up and at him. At about 5:45, he was seen on video surveillance walking back and forth around the area of the Hilton Hotel. He then left for a moment to go again, Starbies. You got to have your Starbies fixed in the moment, no matter who you are.
I'm more of a Costa
in the morning.
kind of guy, maybe Pret.
You're such a Costa guy, and it's so hilarious. That's why my dad likes you so much, because he's such a Costa man. Anywho, went and got his Starbucks. I would love to have known what his Starbucks order was, but I guess we'll never find out. He then returned to the hotel right at about 6:39, just minutes before Thompson arrived and was about to go in, which is so the Hilton was where the conference was being held.
Yeah.
So Brian arrives, about to go inside, and at 6:46 a.m., he's approached by the attacker from behind and shot in the back and then in the leg. So there's also, so he was using a silencer. He was also using what they call like a ghost gun, because it's a completely untraceable gun, because I think it was 3D printed.
That's crazy.
Which is wild. That's
wild.
Something that people now have access to, because obviously
get the blueprint and then just make it.
Anyone who's watched Law and Order, SVU, anyone who's watched CSI,
are these shows you watch?
Yeah. Anyone who's watched any of those shows know that the first thing you're going to do when you find some bullet casings or a gun is trace it. Trace that gun. You can find the owner. You can find who sold it. You can find who bought it.
But
Paper trail.
Surprise,
but if it's
custom.
a 3D gun, what are you going to do? Arrest the printer? Like, do you know what I mean? You're a bit screwed there. So, anywho, apparently, the gun was fitted with a silencer.
Yep.
It jammed at one point. However, he was able to reload and then shoot him once again to kind of make sure that he was fully dead.
That's crazy.
I think there's so many things. Like, obviously, we're going to talk about the suspect and who he is and how people have responded to him and the online reactions. But I think, like, the fact that it happened in broad daylight.
There was a lady right there.
There were so many witnesses. Obviously, yes, he was wearing a mask, but this man had guts. Like, he did not give a flying F who was around to witness it. What if there had been a policeman just like casually walking by at the time?
I think he was so like
honed in,
focused on doing it. I can't imagine he had slept. Do you know what I mean? He was up.
That's probably why he needed his protein bar and water.
Yeah, 5. Like, what a weird thing to get in the morning.
I know.
5:30.
Like, maybe some oatmeal, I'd understand.
Just completely like in the zone. And even to a point where the gun jammed and he was calm enough to actually fix it right there and be like, okay, back to it.
So that's why a lot of people were initially saying that, he must be some sort of professional.
Yeah.
Because of how calm and collected he was. And also, so this then leads to kind of the manhunt afterwards and how quickly he was able to disappear from the scene. So what then happened? Sorry. I've just realized, do you want to now take over? Because I am quite literally just talking.
I mean, you're loving this story, and I'm kind of loving the fact that you're kind of
I'm
explaining.
really,
you're really
loving
invested.
it. I'm
you're
really loving
invested.
it, but I just don't want to hog. So, like,
that's
if you
fine.
want to take over.
I can take over. So, the aftermath.
Only if you want to, though.
I'll do one line.
Okay, you can do
the aftermath of manhunt. So,
you don't have to.
The suspect headed north on foot before getting on a bike and then riding towards Central Park.
Okay.
And one of the things that I saw, which was really interesting, was that in his backpack.
Oh my God, is this about the Monopoly money?
Yeah, in his backpack, when they found the backpack, they opened it and it was just full of like Monopoly money. Mm-hmm. Also going
so poetic.
I know.
I saw so many TikToks being like the poetry of this crime.
It's and how these insurance companies go around and basically collect their 200 and just monopolize on everyone's lives
and can pass go on prison.
Literally. But also going back to the shooting, the bullets had all
words on them.
And they're apparently based off a book.
Yes.
Which was linked to health insurance in America.
There were 3 words written. Here it is.
Can we try and guess? Oh, do you know what the words are?
You can try and guess. I know what they are.
Dose? No. Defend?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
They begin with their 3 Ds. Deny, depose, and defend.
Defend. So
yeah, deny, depose, and defend.
Got one.
Which are 3 words from a book from a while back now, either 2015 or 2016. It was from a few years ago. That was all about the ways in which insurance, specifically like healthcare insurance companies, whatever, deny people's claims and end up stopping millions and millions of people of accessing medical attention and like healthcare because of the kind of fraudulent schemes that these companies
bad in America,
engage in. It's really, really bad. And I mean, I think so. Obviously, yeah, he kind of disappeared from sight.
Yeah.
And he was
Are you
ultimately
taking over again here.
You were being too slow with it.
Shortly after, he abandons the bike near 86th Street and Columbus Avenue, and then he rides north to 86th Street. Amsterdam Avenue to the Port Authority bus depot in Upper Manhattan, where he actually takes a bus out of the city.
Got you.
How was he not caught while he was just running away like this?
I mean, first of all, New York is an incredibly like dense and like
grid system city.
Yeah, so I think if you want to disappear quite quickly, it's I say it's easy. Obviously, I've never done it before. So I don't know if it is. But I think, obviously, this was a very planned crime.
Yeah.
Obviously, people have ruled out now that he was a professional killer. We know now, having time gone on, that he's not a professional killer. That being said, this was not... he woke up one morning and decided, I'm going to go and kill the CEO of this company.
No, it's
he
planned.
had planned this time and time, like in advance. He obviously knew the exact route that he was going to be taking after.
That's the thing. He knew the conference, where the conference was, what time he will arrive.
He knew everything. He knew all of the information. He was incredibly meticulous about that. And so, he ended up getting a bus out of the city. He ended up in Pennsylvania. And so was it yesterday or the day before now? Which I'm thinking just at the time of us having this convo, because he's been caught now.
He's been caught.
He's in custody.
He's not saying a word.
No, so it was on Monday, the 9th of December, that a McDonald's employee...
What a snitch, by the way.
No.
Nah.
When I say...
What an absolute snitch.
This really bothered me.
The police are like, if we find him...
The police would have never found him.
The police wouldn't care.
They were also only offering 10 grand.
That's what I'm saying. So 10 grand if you find this guy, and this guy's like, do you know what? He's actually over here. What an absolute snitch.
No, I know, but honestly, probably maybe they just like had run out of McFlurries that day, as they always do.
I don't think he was a McDonald's worker though.
No, but it was someone at McDonald's that then told a member of staff, and the member of staff.
Oh, even worse.
No, that's what I mean. So imagine you're a disgruntled customer, no milkshakes, no McFlurries. This guy's over here like having his Big Mac.
Fuming.
Ooh, he probably looks like he shot a CEO the other day. I'm going to tell the McDonald's staff employee, and the McDonald's staff employee is going to go, "This is my ticket out of here. Ring, ring." NYPD.
The funny thing is, 10 grand wouldn't even cover like your insurance bills.
No,
it costs about 30 grand to have a kid in America.
Wouldn't. But anyway, long story short, he has now been arrested. They have denied him bail because obviously he's probably a bit of a flight risk, which is quite funny actually. I saw a video this morning where he was in his arraignment. The prosecution were arguing why he shouldn't be allowed bail, because they said that they found foreign currency in his bags.
He was ready to breeze.
They found foreign currency. They also found, I think, something like 8,000 worth of like US dollars as well. And they found this thing called a Faraday bag. Do you know what that is?
A Faraday bag?
Yeah.
No, it sounds fun though.
I know, right? So... It's just like a bouncy castle. Yeah. No, they found this thing in his backpack.
Instant blow-up castle.
Yeah. Why are you taking my blow-up dolly away from me? It's basically this type of device, or I'm not exactly sure on the science of it, but it stops like cellular communication. So it's obviously a way of, again, further like hiding your tracks.
So the shit that they put in the O2 when you go and watch a gig and you just can't get signal.
Oh my God, that's the most millennial thing. Like, can't ever be like, anyone mad about those O2 cellular issues?
I'm not the only person that hates that. You go to a football game or you go to the O2 and you...
I know, but just like focus. Like, we're not talking about that right now.
All right, miss, I love a murderer.
I do love a murderer. I'm like, I want to be friends with this guy. Anyway, so... He's called Luigi Mangione.
Yes.
So, like, gorgeous.
Never trust an Italian with a six-pack.
What a gorgeous name. Now, let's quickly talk about how people are feeling about this man. So, he's 26.
Yep.
He is an Ivy League graduate. This man's educated.
No, he's got a master's and a bachelor degree.
Like, he's got a smile that could save a rainbow. He's educated. He's got a great head of hair. He clearly doesn't like corporate America. I'm struggling to find an issue with him, personally.
Apart from killing someone.
We've all got our past. No, do you know what it is? I think everyone was thirsting over him on TikTok. I think a lot of the online reactions to Luigi, I just love the fact that he's called Luigi, make sense when you think about the way that people have reacted to other kind of killers who have done something that, whilst obviously we're not, again, saying that you can just murder people, like, obviously not. That being said, there was a cause behind it. He was, in a lot of ways, I mean, people are referring to him as Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Like,
with the green.
Yeah, kind of like looking out for the lower classes, which again, I also do think is ironic to point out when you consider how wealthy his family is. But it's understandable, and I definitely get it. Like, when I was seeing people's reactions to him online of being like, okay, this guy is taking down someone who we obviously don't like and who we obviously don't agree with their ethics or morals. why would we not be kind of backing him? We've seen that time and time again over the years where, I mean, they like to call them vigilantes. I don't know if he would really qualify as a vigilante, but the concept of the like, does. Yeah, like of the little guy standing up to this big boss and kind of doing something that a lot of people would be afraid of doing and taking that extreme action.
But does it actually stop what's
no,
happening? It doesn't. I think it just
won't.
sends a message more.
Yeah, there's no way. As long as there's like greed and money, and there's always going to be another Brian Thompson, as there are. Like there are so many. There was like they put up a list of the top 10 CEOs of these kind of healthcare companies in America, and they're all just as bad as each other. Yeah. Like Brian Thompson actually was one of the smaller fish in some of the other. There are other people who have much higher net worths who might be next targets, like on the list.
But talking of CEOs, I've been seeing this conspiracy online. So the other day, Elon Musk was like out, and obviously he's a massive CEO for Twitter, well, formerly known as Twitter, and Tesla,
like SpaceX,
and stuff. And because this news had come out, he was seen with his son on his shoulders. And people have been saying like, oh, he's been using his son as
protection almost. Yeah. Like,
which
you're not going to shoot me if I've got my son on my shoulders.
Which I don't really believe, but...
I think that's something Elon would do.
I don't know. Maybe. But
it's like, son, get on my shoulders, back in private. Go away!
But I just think that now it builds up this kind of like thought of like, are these CEOs now scared?
Which is hilarious when you think about it. And like, I saw so many videos. Did you see that video of that girl who was like, I'm going to start describing the CEO killings as how they talk about women who've been victims of like sexual violence. And the girl was like, what was he wearing?
Oh my God.
Like, what was Brian wearing? Like, did he not go out with like a chaperone? Like, did he not have someone with him? Which I know it's distasteful in a way because a man is dead, but you can't deny the kind of social and cultural conversations around it and the way that this has prompted people to discuss the kind of hypocrisy. I just think it's so interesting.
Everyone's thirsting over him. Is that the term?
Thirsting, yeah.
Everyone's thirsting over him. Being compared to Timothée Chalamet. Everyone's saying how nice his eyebrows are. He had a really nice smile.
He did have a nice smile.
But like...
You could tell his laugh was quite like whimsical.
Why are people so obsessed with good-looking murderers?
Yeah. I think sometimes I get it and sometimes I don't. Like, when you look at someone like Ted Bundy, who killed and sexually assaulted and violated dozens and dozens and dozens of young girls and women.
But he had Riz.
Okay, let me finish my sentence. That I don't get.
Yeah.
Also
neither.
because I'm like, he's so basic looking.
Yeah, I don't think he's good looking.
I don't really get him. I think it all depends. For me personally, I'm only gonna be attracted to a serial killer / killer who like did it for a cause.
How about the Menendez brothers?
That one's a really difficult one because I don't actually think that the original Menendez brothers were attractive.
No.
I think that the Menendez brothers in the Netflix series were attractive.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
But yeah, it does.
It doesn't.
That's my truth.
Yeah, I know.
That's my Menendez.
How about Joe from You?
Yeah, I was going to say Joe from You, but Penn Badgley is just objectively fit.
Yeah, he's
cool. So that's kind of difficult. I mean, Jodie Comer also in Killing Eve is so sexy.
True.
I think, look, people love danger, don't they? I know it sounds
like Voldemort.
I know it. Shut up.
Some people find Voldemort attractive.
Can I finish one thought?
After reading the whole show.
After I gave you the option to jump in. Let's not go there.
Here we go. But yeah, I don't really see like the weird attraction with like murderers like Ted Bundy. And like you were saying about like, obviously he's killed. He's a horrible man.
Yeah. I think, do you know what? I think it really depends on the murderer.
It really depends on what shampoo
It really
they use.
depends on what their star sign was. Like, you know, like whether or not they treated waitresses nicely. Yeah. Like, I think, yeah, Ted Bundy, first of all, I don't think he was that attractive anyway.
No.
Second of all, he was an objectively violent and just disturbed and horrible, horrible, horrible person that broke the lives of so many people and like broke families.
Was he strictly women killer?
Basically, yeah.
And women were still like, oh my God.
And young girls. Like he was vile. There are other people that I think it all depends on the crime, doesn't it, and the intention. So, like, for example, the Menendez brothers, there are a lot of people, there are a lot of people out there who do not think that they should be in prison and think
What
that...
do you think?
I know that people are going to be like, well, it was her boyfriend that did it and not her. I find it hard that Gypsy is out and they're not.
Agreed.
I know that the crimes are different, and I know that
Agreed.
you can't compare them in certain ways because technically Gypsy didn't pull the trigger or do the knife.
I mean, pull the trigger quite a lot of times. They had a shotgun and they were going ham.
Yes. However, they had been victims of excessive mental, emotional, and physical abuse.
Yeah. So
I just think that they should not still be in prison.
So you think that the story that they're telling about that is true?
100%.
Okay.
So, but yeah, and they were kind of paying. But I think, yeah, everyone's different. Like, when you look at people like that portray serial killers or murderers in shows. So, like, you're talking like Joe from You by Penn Badgley. And then
creepy guy.
Villanelle in Killing Eve by Jodie Comer. Like, very, very sexy people. And I do think that there's something to be said, like, there's a reason why, like, the saying goes of, like, oh, like, everyone loves a bad boy. Like, it's a thing, isn't it? When you think about silly things like, not silly, but there are lots of people out there who have relationships with people in prison. Yeah. And it's not as though they met them outside of prison and then stayed with them when they went in. They specifically reached out to people who were in prison to strike up romantic relationships.
That is crazy.
But you might think that, and I wouldn't do it personally, but it's a thing. It happened
with the Menendez brothers. One of the brothers, he was receiving letters. And
it happens with loads of serial killers. Like, there was Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker.
Oh, yeah.
He was fawned over by women.
So if you're single, you've got a chance. No, that's no.
Not only is that patronising, and like I
patronising.
really didn't enjoy it, but also I just hated everything about that. But no, I think it's an interesting one. People, obviously, I've also seen some really funny videos. There was this one guy that said, I think that the Luigi is being framed for the murder.
That as well.
Do you know what I'm going to say?
No, but I did see the fact that he's been framed.
Yeah, but this really funny guy put up this video and he was like, look, I think Luigi is being framed because I live in the neighborhood where the assassination took place. And if I had known, like, if there was such a hot man in the area, I would have sensed it. Like, he was like, I would have known that he was here. So, like, it wasn't him. He's being framed.
There is rumours that he is being set up, though.
Well, he has said that the money that so-called was his kind of getaway money that they're now saying that's why he should be denied bail, that was planted. That wasn't his, and that someone's planted that.
But the person that they picked up who got stitched on by the McDonald's guy or person, he had a gun in his bag as well. I'm pretty
Luigi?
Sure. Yeah.
Who do you think I'm talking about?
No, I'm saying that people are saying that the guy that's been arrested...
Right. Got you.
...has been set up,
but he had the gun in his bag.
But he had all the gun and stuff in his bag.
Yeah, no, it's definitely him.
Yeah.
No, like, it's definitely him. I don't think he's being framed, but it's just interesting how people are even now potentially going to back him so much so that they'll argue that this man is innocent because of the fact, solely because they think he's physically attractive. But that's, again, also that leans into this whole idea of beautiful people get away with more shit than ugly people do. That is literally, like, it's such a kind of dumb prophecy.
No one's reaching out
to Tiger King. But it is just true. Pardon?
No one's reaching out to Tiger King.
Speak for yourself. Joe Exotic is like... he was married to 2 men at once.
He was.
How many people are you married to? He got married to 2 people at one time.
We should reach out to
both of them who
Luigi.
were also kind of cute. I mean, one of them had no teeth, but the other one was kind of cute. If he had teeth, he would have been cute.
Yeah, no, I hear that. He had the buzz cut thing going on.
No, yeah, he could get it if he had teeth.
Oh God.
This story is wild, and it'll definitely be interesting to see, like, kind of how it unfolds and how he ends up, like, stating his case and how he ends up carrying himself throughout this whole thing. But I think it's definitely proven that people online love to back the underdog and love to back someone who's going against corporate America. And I don't think that will ever change. The fact that he has a gorgeous smile just did him a few favors.
And also, I think because it's so viral, some lawyers are going to be like, this is my
This
break.
is going to be a documentary next time. But this time
Netflix
next year, Netflix is going to eat this up.
Netflix are already looking to who
would you cast, really quickly before we go? Who would you cast?
Timothy.
You're going Timothy? I'm going to go... Okay, he's too old now, but a young Matt Damon.
No. I mean...
Born Identity.
That's...
Imagine with the Monopoly money doing a little shimmy down Manhattan Avenue. I would watch that in a heartbeat.
Tom Cruise would probably want it.
Oh, Tom Cruise can literally go himself. Harry Styles.
Ooh.
No, he's too he's not got enough grit to him. He doesn't know how to use a printer.
If you enjoyed this episode, leave a like. Do you leave a like? No, you leave a comment.
leave
a comment, subscribe, and like the video, because without you guys, there'll be none of us. No, delete that last bit. But anyway, thank you for watching. And
Luigi, we love you.
We don't.
We don't. But like, you did something bad, but you have great gums.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.